How's it going, my comic chat army? We're here today with Rick Duree, the creator of Orphan Bloodline. There we go. How you doing, Rick?
Hey, good to be here. And loving our previous conversation. If we'd only pushed record earlier, we would have given away all the secrets. But now the audience gets no secrets. Sorry, it's over.
so, how long have you been making comics for?
Oh, not that long. It's more like for me, writing has been going on longer, and then I decided to transfer it into a comic medium about a year and a half ago. And so I have about 20 comics written, and we're on issue 3 on the Kickstarter, but I guess we have about 5 if you take the side stories and such. We have about 5 books done so far, and it's been huge fun, meeting people, especially online, like right now with you, different artists, and people giving me some great feedback and some great reviews, and maybe some harsh reviews. I like it, give it both ways, and just liking the journey. It's a journey with comics.
Are you keeping the same artist from issue, or are you just changing around?
I'm not. I don't know. This is the thing. When you're a new creator, you don't know what the right answer is, and I don't know the right answer. So for me, I had an artist for the first, and then I had a couple artists for the second, and now for the third, I have a different artist that's kind of working slightly with my previous team. And then the fourth book will be that same guy all alone. So each book will have a slightly different look. And I don't know if it's good or bad. I mean, we're just making stories here.
Yeah. Is it a continuous story, or is each book shop?
Yeah. We when I first got into it, I started talking to some pros, right? Some Kickstarter pros, and they said you got to do one shots, you got to do anthologies, you got to do maybe a 3-story arc, and that's all. And I don't know. I don't read comics that way. Maybe I'm off the wall, but I'm a graphic novel kind of person. I like the long, drawn out, well established world building, deep stories. They give you twists, and I like the series. It's the serial type of a presentation. I don't really watch that many movies anymore. I like watching, the 8 episodes that Netflix throws out, and I kind of feel like comics are the same for me.
Yeah, that's why I like Indycomics, because you'll get a book and like 3-4 months later you'll get issue 2, so it forces you to go back to read 1 to see what's going to happen in 2.
Yeah, that's tedious and happy. You get both. It's good and bad.
Yes. There's a lot of books, a lot of indie books out there that I like, that I'm just like, I need so much more now.
Yeah. Well, also, if you're a Kickstarter supporter, and I seriously ask kindly any viewers, become a Kickstarter supporter, back something every month. It's only like $5. Just back something every month and keep the industry moving forward. It's tough in this inflation economy for everybody, but $5 is a help no matter which one you support. But then at the end of the year, you got a dozen books there to read on your laptop when you're on the beach on vacation, which I expect all of our listeners are beach goers. They're all going to be on the beach with their laptops and the umbrella and reading their comics. And when that happens, you'll have a dozen to go through, and then you'll know to go, which one to go back to and go buy 2 and 3 and 4 issue.
Or the fun part is you forget about it and you just get a random comic at your house one day.
Oh,
that's fun too.
Yeah, that's right.
I've had a couple books show up when I was just having really bad days and then turn things around just a little bit.
This whole Amazon world we're in is Christmas all the time. I even still today, 20 years later, I've been buying online since about 2001 or 2, and pretty consistently. And it's always Christmas to get packages. Here's the comics that I made with my team, and it's beautiful holographic, like rainbow. Look at that, glorious. But when they come in, I just got my big order in, and I ordered 500 copies of each. I didn't do this, piecemeal, 25 here and 10 there. I went ahead and did the whole big order at once. And it was too many boxes. It was too many. Bringing them in, it was fun.
Did they pallet ship it or individually double boxed?
Yeah, UPS individuals. I mean, they should have done pallet, but they didn't. I'm not in charge of the shipping over there.
What state are you in?
I'm in St. Louis.
Okay. Are you in comic shops in St. Louis?
So I just got my order in. The comic shops told me they wanted me to have the comic in hand, and then they'd get some and put them on their shelves, and I can do some signings. So I just got them in maybe a week and a half ago, And so I'm new on that. But yeah, we're gonna get them in the comic shops for sure. There's like, I don't know, St. Louis is pretty big in comics. I don't know if you're aware of that, but we have a lot of creators, a lot of great shops. We don't have a really big Comic Con. We don't, but we do have a huge anime convention. Not that that's that's different, but it's kind of similar.
Maybe you can put together the St. Louis Comic Con, bring everybody under
Maybe
one umbrella,
Yeah. Hey, do we need another one? I don't know. What do you think about Comic Cons? They're kind of like everywhere now. In fact, there's one this weekend going on that I want to go to. I stop at pretty much all of them, but they're kind of everywhere now. No?
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody I talk to that goes as a vendor, they say they're awesome for networking and just getting your
Yeah.
book out there.
Yeah. When I was doing my first and only Comic Con that I was a table at, because I just got my books in, I was at Cowtown Comic Con in Fort Worth just recent here, and I was bringing people into the table because I would shake this rub at them. I would say, "Come taste this rub. It's the best rub in the world," and it is the best rub in the world. I'm not joking with you. I just put a different sticker on it because it was for the comic convention, and they would taste the rub, and I'd say, "Now that I got you in my booth, let me tell you my story." And so it was a great way to get people to come over. And I think I had about, if you take it all into consideration, about 40% of the people I spoke to actually bought. And I think that's a great number. I think it's a high percentage. So I'm happy with that.
So what's the pitch? Give us the elevator pitch of Orphan
So when
Bloodline.
at the Comic Con, you got to be super fast. So I'll just give you the fast pitch. Everybody has blood disorders if they're part of the bloodline. They're in that lineage. Okay, you have a blood disorder. And these blood disorders can kill you. They can be debilitating. Or if you hybrid them in with some kind of cybernetics or a biomachinery, your blood disorder now becomes a blood power. So the technology with the biology coming together gives you that power. This is really a magic system that's not been done before that I've seen. This is a new magic system. And I created it because my buddy wanted to play D&D, but he wanted to play it with guns back in the fantasy world. And I said, you can't do that. You have to have swords or a crossbow or something. He goes, no, guns. So I made him a character, which is the main character, which is a kid who has hemochromatosis. So he has a blood disorder where his metals stick in his blood. They don't go away. And he needs to have dialysis to pull the metals out of his blood. So he's in a lot of pain. I mean, this is a sad game. His parents spent all this money. He's emaciated because he won't eat, because if he eats, he has to get more metal in his blood and more dialysis. I mean, it's a hard way. He contemplates suicide. I mean, it's dark. And then he realizes, hey, my family motto is a Jordan Peterson quote of all people. Says, hey, you can be a hero in your own life. And he says, okay, I'm going to stick it out. His mom, who works in the medical field, found an amazing human experiment going on in Wuhan, China. Again, no one knew. It happened. I point my finger on the map and there was Wuhan. I don't know. But he went over to Wuhan and they found out that he was in the lineage. He had the right blood. And they gave him these cybernetic bio bracers on his wrists that worked as microdialysis machines, and magnetically pulled the metal from his blood, stuck it into a cartridge in his palm, compacting it super tight, and then loading it into a magnetic rail gun where now he's shooting his own blood bullets out of his gun. See, the cybernetic / biomachinery with the blood disorder gives you this blood power. And then, of course, we portaled the guy back with a wizard to play in our D&D game because now he has blood bullets he's blazing. It was just a really cool situation in the book where you have a different type of magic. You really have to think more deeply in biology, more deeply in cybernetics to get into what is Orphan Bloodline. It's not one of those things that you're reading through just for the laughs and throwing it away. It's deep. There's lots of Easter eggs. Every page has music to it, so you can listen to the music on every single page, a different song that relates with that. There's cryptography, so you can find secret codes as you're going through the book. I mean, it's really a more broad system.
You really thought this through from every angle. I like it.
Trying. It's deep. It's not something that you just read through. Like I said, there's a lot of books like that, and those are cool, But I wanted to build something different and something bigger. And that's the feedback that I got at the Comic-Con. They said, man, you've done a lot more than a lot of people actually in the stories. And to me, that was what I wanted to offer. I wanted to offer a deep, broad story. Now, I'll be honest. There are people with better art in their books than mine. That's true. I have good art, but there's better art. I love Jamie Tyndall. I mean, he's my. I can't wait till I have him do a cover for me. He's my favorite. But we have good art. We have great storytelling.
And it's on Kickstarter now?
Issue 3 right now. We have a side story you can get as a bonus. We have 4 coming out. January is our Kickstarter for that one. So these are all in order. They're all moving forward. We have a storyline for the Bloodline back in the Dark Ages being drawn right now. That won't Kickstarter until the spring. But yeah, I mean, the Bloodline goes back to Pharaoh, like 3000 BC. So anywhere in there, you can do stories about whatever. And I've written several in previous history. The side story that we offer is when the Tsar of Russia, Nicholas II, goes to Japan. Well, that's when the Bloodline was brought to Japan. And what happens in Japan actually happened in history. All of the history is true. Everything you see in Bloodline, all the history, all the science, all the biology, all the elements, all the biomachinery, it's all in real life. It's slightly modified for our story, but you're not going to learn false doctrine with us. We're going to give you the truth in a fun approach.
So, I guess, do you work in any of those fields in your day job?
Well, I was a teacher at college for about 8 years, but I taught in entrepreneurship, so I was really a business guy, if you will. The fantasy's always been on the side. My wife is a chemist, and so I get some beef up on the science from her sometimes when she feels like it. She has to feel like it first.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, what advice would you give to new creators out there?
Yeah. So the truth is this. You got to just jump in, and you're going to make mistakes, and you're going to make mistakes that's going to cost you a couple $1,000 for sure. It's going to happen, and you're going to want to redo stuff, and change things around. But if you can get in with some cool people, and there's a lot of cool people in the comics industry, a lot of people helping everybody out, a lot of small, tiny little comic publishers that will bring you on and kind of mentor you. If you reach out to them. That's what I did. I reached out. My Kickstarter my first one hadn't even started yet, and Charter Comics took me in. They're on the back of the book here. They took me in as one of their group, and they're giving me contacts and just help me a lot with issues that I have. So that's what I would do. I just jump in and meet people.
That's awesome.
It's not super deep advice, but it's what I got for you.
Who's over there running Charter Comics?
Chris Hayes is the main communication guy. McLean also is there, but Chris Hayes pretty much runs it.
Okay.
He has a comic book store, and they run the Fort Worth Cowtown Comic Con that I went to, and they do this as well. So it's all kind of like an expansion of what they were already doing. And I think if you can get in with a comic store and start a publishing house with them, I think that's a great connection. Because they'll carry the books. They'll carry your books for you. It's just an easy next step.
Will they distribute through Diamond for you also?
Charter's trying to get that moving right now. I think it might be Lunar. We'll see what happens. But the possibility is high.
Hey, Diamond or Lunar, they're both great, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Anybody will put your book in the nationally, move it nationally for you is good.
Right. So you said you got some signings coming up. Is anything set in stone that you can talk about now?
No, nothing set in stone now. I do want to do good signings. I'll give advice on signings to those who do it. I was at a concert for Carly Pierce, country singer. I was doing some VIP work for that concert just last night. And she signed all these posters. And she signed it in the same color as the poster. And so you couldn't even see the signature. And I raised it to her team. I'm like, this is terrible signatures. Nobody can even see this. And they go, well, that's what she wanted to do, him and Han. But the reality is that's terrible. Here's some advice when you're signing stuff for the first time for young creators. Get one of those like paint Sharpies, like some wetness to it. That's going to be nice and bold and thick. It's a thick tip. Everybody likes the thick tip.
It's a joke there, but maybe another time. What social medias are you on?
Mostly Facebook. Instagram is a flow through on that. They get it too, but mostly I do Facebook because I like the interaction that we get. I think we have thousands of followers. It's really nice.
Nice. You don't do Twitter or Threads or TikTok or anything?
Threads. TikTok is a big get. No, TikTok is a big. We need to move more on there. And so I
Mm.
actually created some videos that I can put on TikTok specifically because there's a good market there. In fact, I feel like the comic industry has stayed on Facebook a lot because we're kind of like that's our generation, whatever. But a lot of the people who are on TikTok are younger, and that's where the anime is hitting it big.
Mm.
And we need to compete with anime. I'm a huge anime fan, but we need to compete with that with the mangas.
Okay. When does your Kickstarter end?
Right before Halloween, the weekend before Halloween. I'm a big Halloween fan. I think it's the Christmas of this new generation. Halloween is. I mean, they get dressed up. They do their outdoor decorations. My kids don't even care about Christmas. They're big Halloween people.
We should
Pumpkin.
do. We should make Halloween 2 days like Christmas, like All
Right.
Hallows Eve, then like Halloween.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sure. Right now we do about 3 days. Actually, we do the trunk or treat. We do the pumpkin carving. We do the chili cook-off. I mean, it's turned into a season for sure. I love chili cook-offs. We just were part of one.
So, oh, dead or alive, who would you like to make a comic book with?
Well, I want Jamie Tyndall to do me a cover. That's for sure. Jeff Johns is the best writer of comics. Not a good movie director. He tried that. Not great at that. Not really great on running DC from a product creation position. But as a writer, he was my absolute favorite. So if I was to write a series, I would write it with him. Green Lantern, like I mentioned offline, that 10 years from 2002 to 2012 or so, he did a great job. What about you? Who would you write with?
I like McFarlane.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people think his story writing is boring and slow, but I'm a
Well,
McFarlane fanboy.
McFarlane won because of the art. If you can say that anyone's book sold because of art, you would say McFarlane. Because I actually went back and was reading some Spawn. I wanted to get some darker themes in my repertoire. I felt like if I would read some of Spawn, I would get some inspiration. But the writing is slow, and the pages. I mean, if you go through his comics, it's full page panel, full page panel, full page panel. I mean,
Yep.
it's pretty much 20 covers in the book series. So you're getting the best art, really amazing art, but the stories are slow. So I don't know how he would do it as being a writing partner, but as an artist partner he'd be great.
Is there is there anything you want to say before we go?
Um, I think that, as I was telling you earlier, I think this is important. People need to be open to criticism in the indie market. We need to be able to tell each other when we suck so we can be better. Because I really hope that indie can be strong and here forever, here to stay. But it has to get even better than it is. I mean, we were great in a lot of ways, but there's so much being thrown there. There's so much like NSFW comics for no reason except to show boobs. And to be honest, there's a place for that. Okay, I get it, but I mean, there's so much of that, and the stories aren't great usually. I mean, we need to really have good product, and that's what I hope that in any way I can, I want to be part of that success.
All right. I appreciate you taking the time to come talk with me.
Cool, man. Thanks a lot for your time too. I appreciate it.
What? You mean you haven't subscribed to Comicchatauthority? Oh, come on, subscribe already. What are you waiting for? It's no big deal. Like, man, don't forget to tell him to hit that like button. Yeah, that too. Just subscribe.